Hey guys, my name is Lacey Henry, and I would love to talk to you about time management today. Burton and Shelton define time management as organizing and sequencing tasks so that they are accomplished in an efficient manner. Notice they did not say effective. So you might ask me, Lacey, what's the difference between effective and efficient? And I would tell you, since you asked, that effectiveness means that when you do a task, you do it the right way the first time. Being efficient means that you're doing that task with as little energy and effort that it requires to get the task done. So efficient is making sure it's done the right way. It might be slow, but it's right. And or effective is, and then efficient is making sure that it's done quickly. To have good time management, you want both of those. You want to get things done and get them done the right way the first time, because if you're having to go back and redo that task, then you're not having good time management, right? So time management needs to have both of those qualities. When I interview my directors of rehab, the thing that I tell them right off the bat in the interview is, if you don't have effective time management and organization skills, then you're not going to be successful doing the director of rehab job for us. Our directors of rehab are charged with doing so many things throughout the day, and there's so many different people pulling at them and distracting them that if they are not superbly organized and have good time management skills, they are going to be burned out, and they're going to be running around like a chicken with their head cut off because they're so overwhelmed with tasks. So my most successful directors are the ones who have great time management skills. I want to share some of those skills with you today so that we can learn more about time management. Some things about time management there's three things really. You want to develop work habits that result in maximum efficiency. So you want to put organization things in place to make sure that you're being efficient. You want to be efficient with your running around and things like that. You also want to acquire knowledge and skills to extend performance beyond the present capability. An example of this that I think about right off the bat is when we hire new staff who aren't familiar with our computer software system. We use a computer software system to do our documentation and our charges. So when we hire that person who's never used the program before, I often tell them, please take this home with you. Log in from home and just get to know the program. Immerse yourself in the program. Go through it and learn about it, because the more you know about it, the more efficient you're going to be when you're at work. Another thing that is really important to do is controlling your attitudes and emotions that have a tendency to steal time. So when I think about that, I think about how we talked earlier in this mini-mester about virtual offices and people working from home more often. My wife and I both work from home, and working from home gives you a whole new set of distractions than you have at a real office. There's distractions, there's housework that needs to be done, there's TV that you could watch, there's people knocking on your door in the middle of the day. There's all these new distractions, and you have to be able to control your mind so that you can make sure you're getting your tasks done. One thing that I really like to do to organize my time is start off with organizing my day first thing in the morning, and that's with a to-do list. So inevitably I use my spiral, and you may see I have my list going from work last week, but I like to-do lists. So when I first sit down at my computer, I write down all my tasks. What do I need to get done today? I need to validate payroll. I need to call so-and-so, I need to do this chart audit, etc., etc. So after I make my to-do list, then I prioritize it. So I write down what has to get done today, what needs to be done first, and what needs to be done by the time I clock out today, and what needs to be done as time allows. So for instance, validating payroll, that needs to be done immediately, because if that's not done, employees aren't going to get paid, and I'm going to have a lot of people calling me really upset when they don't get their money. That's a priority. That would be number one. My chart audit, I know that that can be pushed out throughout the week. It's not absolutely due today. So that's something I could work on after everything else is done. So assigning priorities to your to-do list, to your tasks that need to be done, is a great way to make sure that you are knocking things off, and by the time you clock out at the end of the day, you feel good about it. One other thing I'd like to talk to you about is starting the day with a difficult task. My wife is so good about this. She works from home. She's a physical therapist working for an insurance company. And what she likes to do is start off the day with her hardest cases that she has to go through. And once she gets those knocked out, then the rest of her day doesn't feel as heavy or burdensome after she gets those hard cases done. And then it's kind of like you're just going downhill the rest of the day. So you climb up and you do the hardest things, get those done, and then it's like smooth sailing for the rest of the day. That's another way to make sure that you have some good time management. One other quick thing that I'd like to talk to you about is avoiding interruptions. We kind of talked about that with procrastination, that those two can kind of go hand in hand. So interruptions at home, if I don't make sure that my office space, and actually the whole house, is clean before I start working that day, I'm going to be constantly distracted. If the house is cluttered, or if I know the dishes need to be done, then my brain is constantly going to that, and I'm not controlling my brain well, like we talked about. So when I first wake up in the morning before I start work, a lot of times I'll spend 30 minutes just picking up the house or putting the dishes up, so that that's not bothering me throughout my workday. And if it's not bothering me throughout my workday, then I'm going to have much better time management skills. So I hope you learned a little bit about time management, and I look forward to learning from you guys, because I think we all have room for improvement in areas that we can learn more about how to hone in the skill. And I appreciate your time today. Thanks.